Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. Since new people are finally opening eyes and coming to check my work, my videos, my articles, and want to try the protocol, which I call the Self-Healers Protocol, there frequently comes this question, well, if I have to consume salt, how are my kidneys going to cope with this? Especially people that have some kidney problems, their kidneys are not functioning well, they are always being told, stay away from salt, zero salt. So, what is the truth? Here I'm going to cite from uh, the wisdom of our science that all doctors regurgitate like a parrots. I just typed in kidney and salt. And now we are going to hear what science have to say about it. Well, kidneys play a crucial role in maintaining blood's balance of sodium and potassium. When you consume too much salt, it can alter sodium-potassium balance, leading to decreased kidney function. This can put strain on kidneys and increase risk of kidney disease. Okay, so how salt affects kidneys? Okay, the wisdom of science. High salt intake can lead to reduced kidney function, increased blood pressure, fluid overload in the body, and kidney disease. Okay? They say, the science says, the kidney requires balanced sodium and potassium to function properly. A high diet of salt can put this balance out of whack. Okay, tips to reduce salt intake. Limit sodium intake to less than 1 teaspoon per day. Read food labels to see how much salt is there. Choose product that contains less sodium. Use herbs and spices to add flavor instead of salt. Cute. Limit foods high in sodium. The importance of balancing sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium work together to maintain the body's fluid balance. High salt diet can lead to imbalance of sodium, potassium. Okay, so they regurgitate the same crap. How do you regulate this? You gotta know what food has more sodium, what potassium, and then you have a little bit of this. This is how we create this stupid science of supplementation. Okay, it's all crap science. Where is the truth? Remember, the popular science, the science, is actually manufactured thing by Cabal, pushed into school books, into movies. So every time you hear something about salt, you are going to hear the scientific nonsense about it. Now, it is more and more obvious that Cabal wants the population of this planet. And this is why they created things like that, from babies up to adulthood. No wonder there is more chronic disease is rampant, especially in this world of science. So, what is actually happening? Well, you know, Kabbalah inverts things. So, whatever they tell you, it's contrary to the truth. So, now let's see how that works with kidneys and salt. The body is programmed robot to self-maintain itself, to cleanse and heal itself. So it doesn't matter how much potassium or sodium we consume, the body is doing the balancing. Kidneys are going to do balance. So all the surplus of sodium chloride will be eliminated, and all the surplus of potassium will be eliminated. So where's the problem? For elimination, the only thing that we need is enough plasma in the blood. Because when body does not have to hold on to the plasma, it can use it freely and eliminate. Majority elimination goes through kidneys as a primary system because, again, it wastes less energy to do so, and also but it uses more plasma. Urine is basically 99% plasma, a little bit of toxin garbage or surplus that has been eliminated. Kidneys do not eliminate only toxins, they eliminate surplus. And almost all protocols of cleansing are using toxicity to stimulate offloading the toxins, to stimulate the cleansing process, with the exception of Cell Healer's protocol that actually uses the surplus mechanism elimination to trigger the detox, which is much healthier. Now, in which way can science back up that claim that high salt intake can lead to reduced kidney function? They just put it out there without any backup. They say, oh, the balance, you know, the kidney has to work harder and then it gets bad. This is nonsense. What impedes the function? Something that is going to affect the cellular structure, the cells of the kidney. Now, how does kidney cleanse the blood? Well, through glomerule. And what is glomerule? It's like a nuclear reactor. And you have an artery going in, very tiny, tiny artery. It's going in, releasing stuff. And then vein, very tiny vein on the other side, is reabsorbing and reabsorbs basically what the body needs, what the body is short of, that needs to maintain, and puts it back into circulation. Now we are talking about blood vessels doing this. And the reactor itself, it's a living thing, particular frequency. Now, doesn't matter how big amount of sodium you put in there or how big amount of potassium you put there. The body releases it in the reactor and then reabsorbs what it needs desperately, and the rest then ciphers into bladder as urine. So if your blood vessel system is affected badly, if you have problem with blood circulation, you are going to be developing problem with kidney, because it all works on base of blood circulation. But there are worse things that happen with the kidney. And this is that there is, again, body is electronic robot, so it's set with parameters, runs on programs. And the program says what level of plasma the body has to contain. Plasma is water with minerals. Some of the minerals, or majority of the minerals, are going to be sodium in the blood with a little bit of potassium, which is contrary to what is happening within a cell. Majority of mineral is potassium with a little bit of sodium. The potassium that is found in the blood comes from the cell. Cell produces it. It's not the one that we absorb. Why? Because absorption of potassium is difficult, because it's a larger molecule that has difficulty passing cellular membrane. This is why it is trapped within a cell. Cell produces it, and it needs to pressurize itself to insert a little pressure to push it out. So if it is in the blood, unless it's pressurized through inflammation, potassium cannot enter. Only sodium pops in and out with the water. So when we take sea salt, we are not only using sodium chloride. Sea salt has over 80 minerals. Body uses almost all of them. Actually, the blood plasma is identical to seawater, but with different proportions. But we don't have to worry about these proportions, because that's why we have glomerule. That's why we have kidneys. Kidneys are going to recalibrate and eliminate the surplus. And while doing so, they eliminate toxic stuff as well. Why body has plasma? I explained, because body runs on electricity, which we call energy. And for electricity to flow, you need electroconductive environment, which is achieved by adding ions into the water and turning water from water into plasma state, electroconductive state. This is why body is salty. More salt you have, better electroconductivity. But surplus, too much of anything, is a bad thing. It starts working as a resistor. So the electroconductivity, the salinity, has to be controlled. For optimum electroconductivity, the body's salinity, which includes different types of salts. There are 12 types of salts. They are all in seawater. You get them all through consumption of sea salt. So body is not going to only eliminate surplus of sodium or potassium, any kind of a salt. If it has too much of it, gets it out. It calibrates. We don't have to do it. No animal needs to know what they have to eat, when, and how much. When they have opportunity, they stuff themselves, because the opportunity may not be there tomorrow. So body is programmed to do that calibration. Whenever we try to calibrate, we create disaster because we have no clue what the body needs and in what doses. All our analysis, blood analysis, which we use a statistic to statistically how much of what should be in the blood, all these statistics are being done on glucoholic, which is diseased bodies. Glucoholic body is diseased body. Ketogenic body is healthy body. Anyone who says different is a moron because every mammal is in ketogenic state. Doesn't matter if they are carnivore or herbivores, they are always in ketogenic state. Every baby born is in ketogenic state, as long as it's suckling mother's milk. As soon as we start feeding them with the stupid fruits and veggies, we are shifting their state into glucoholic. We are actually creating genetic alterations which shorten our lives, and more of the crap we eat. With short lives, we also develop diseases. More of the stuff you eat, more disease you become. So, what happens? What destroys kidneys is not too much salt, is not enough plasma, which means not enough salt. Because you cannot, if you don't provide salt, you are losing minerals daily. Remember, in glomerule, blood loses everything, and that takes in what it needs. And the rest lets go into urine. When you are urinating, when you are defecating, when you are sweating, you are always eliminating stuff that body does not need or doesn't want. And the moisture that's come out is not water. It is plasma, because body does not hold water. It only holds plasma. It cannot survive on water. It has to have plasma because of electroconductivity. That's why we are salty. Blood is salty. Blood has about approximately 9 grams of salt per liter of blood. So we are losing minerals, salts, daily. Every time you urinate, you are losing, because body, the glomerule, cannot reabsorb all the minerals. There's always seepage. You sweat, lick your sweat, it's salty. Urine is salty. The more bitter it is, the more toxic it is. It should not be bitter, it should be just salty. Now what happens? As we are losing minerals, body cannot hold water because it goes out of sync with electroconductivity. So as you lose minerals, body will eliminate water. You start dehydrating on circulatory level. As you dehydrate, the program says, well, body should have certain level of plasma. We cannot keep wasting this plasma. And you drink water because you are being told, well, by doctor, the experts, 007 agent, you need hydrate, you need liquids. Liquids, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of soup, wash it down with a can of beer, maybe have a little tea afterwards. Well, all this crap dehydrates you further because all the crap is toxic. And then the 007 expert tells you, but keep your salt down, no salt. Salt is bad. So, okay, you go and drink water, or you listen to these health freaks that also follow the science. Oh, distilled water. You gotta take distilled water because, has more absorption capability. That will detoxify you faster. The distilled water has zero electroconductivity. And if you are low on salt, you bring in distilled water, the body has to shoot it out as quick as possible. So it goes to glomerule and out. And glomerule reabsorbs what it can, but there's nothing to reabsorb really. There are no minerals left. So you go into dehydration even further. You just eliminate and you lose more minerals. As the level of plasma in the body drops, now the program tells kidney, don't waste plasma. Wait with elimination until it gets more toxic. So what happens? The reactor stays. It is not eliminating. It just let the blood go in and then retreats whatever it can save that would be safe to go into the blood. And the toxic liquid remains in the reactor, in glomerule, and accumulates slowly as dark and smelly liquid in the bladder. It's toxic. You are slowly poisoning the kidney with a toxic material that lingers within it. And this is where kidney diseases come from. Dark and smelly urine, it is your indication of what is going to come. You are going to have kidney problems. Fortunately, majority of toxins that we take through plants, through food, are not strong toxins. They are not even problematic, so the body does not really want to waste plasma to eliminate them, because again, the programs are being calculated and then results is spit out. Body decides according to the program what is more crucial, building up the plasma level or eliminate the toxins which are not very problematic. And toxin starts accumulating. Toxins are like resistors. More toxicity, more resistance to flow of energy. You start feeling tired. Energy doesn't flow. It's a cumulative process. And this is why older we get, the more tired we are. Among other things. Because then, as toxicity of the blood increases, not necessarily with a strength of poison, but with cumulative process of mild accumulation of mild toxins, which the programs say, okay, well, they are not so problematic as it is problematic having low plasma levels. Well, what happened is that as we get older, the plasma levels become so low in the blood that our blood thickens. It has to have certain amount of blood cells, but nobody is watching how much plasma it has. So when blood becomes thick, which it means in a square centimeter or inch, there will be less plasma and more particles, more blood cells. So instead of realizing, oh shit, this is dehydration. No, we named it, it's a disease, it's polycythemia. Your body is jerking off, it's making too many freaking cells, we gotta stop this crap. Well, this is how stupid we are. We think that we are scientists. We are schmucks. because we believe in this crap. We blame everything and anything on disease, which actually is contrary. Instead of not taking enough salt, we should double, triple, quadruple on it. The more problems you have in a body, the more salt you need. Because you can hold more water. And this water is not going to increase your blood pressure because your body is not pressure cooker. Your body is more like a glass without top. You can pour as much water in it as you want. When it's full, it overflows. It's not pressure cooker that is going to build pressure. How? Doesn't have top. Body doesn't have top. It can urinate, it can defecate, it can sweat. We just don't think. Because we put our trust into the system. We put our trust into professors. They know. They are highly educated. Well, what does it mean, highly educated? It means highly indoctrinated. The science they follow, it's Kabbalistic science of depopulation. Every doctor is trained how to create disease and how to destroy human body. Has no clue how to heal it. And this you can see. Just look, any chronic disease, what is the cause? Unknown, not sure, maybe. Doctors know deadly squat. How can they prevent or heal anything? This is why they don't use the word healing, curing, preserving. They cannot do that either. They always worsen the situation because all they do is further poisoning the body that is already toxic and in need of cleansing. And then they are saying, no salt, and ultimately not even water. Majority of people on when the kidneys are not working. So what doctor says? Not only no more salt, but limit water intake to 1 glass a day. How ridiculous, how stupid, how idiotic is this? Well, to scientists, this is perfectly understandable. Body cannot filter, it cannot eliminate. Look, you are not urinating anymore. How the freak are you going to urinate if you're not drinking? That's too much of science for scientists to understand. Everybody will develop kidney problem listening to science, listening to their doctors, listening to the professors, because everything we are being told is rigged the wrong way. As I say, science is same as a religion. Couple truthful things and then bunch of baloney around it that misleads you completely in the wrong way. As you think with science that, okay, you are learning science in the school, this is how it works. You put salt in a body, and because salt is now denser, higher accumulation, it will suck the liquid out of your cell. It will dehydrate you. Well, they tell you it will dehydrate you, don't have salt. But then, you have high blood pressure because you are accumulating too much water because you're eating salt. So which way is it? Morons? Yeah, morons, doctors, morons. If you don't see this, well, freaking moron. So, Wake up. Wake up. Almost everybody that comes on a protocol, the biggest problem is, yeah, but what salt? You have to take salt. I cannot have salt. I have high blood pressure. Well, you have a frequent high blood pressure because you don't have enough salt. You are dehydrated. Your cells are dehydrated. They lost the possibility of stretching. They are dry. So when heart creates pressure, pressure cannot be absorbed, cannot be amortized. It increases. But you need plasma so you can hydrate the cells. You cannot hydrate the cells if the blood is toxic. So first you need to cleanse the blood. And you cleanse it with plasma. So you have to bring salt and water to do that. Pressure will increase, yeah, of course, because now you are building up your blood levels. You are actually diluting the blood the way it should be. You don't dilute blood by taking aspirin or other suggested, actually, anticoagulants. But they tell you, no, this will dilute your blood. In which freaking way? Explain me in which way. No, nobody tries to explain anything because you don't have to think, you don't have to explain. You just have to repeat the nonsense you are being served when you are in medical school. We are taught by idiots and we become idiots. Sorry, professors, but you're freaking idiots. So, we got to start thinking. But how can you start thinking when you have toxic blood? Your brain doesn't work. You eat the wrong food that doesn't supply you energy unless you are eating. So your brain works constantly on empty, on low energy. Only in ketogenic state, brain can work properly because it is properly fed by fat that you always have in the blood. When you sleep, you can fast a month, you can fast a year if you are fat. And your brain is going to work perfectly because it will be nourished day and night. So body can even cleanse and repair itself at night while you are sleeping, which is impossible in glucoholic state because it's lacking energy. Because it doesn't process fat, doesn't create enough energy from fat because body had to drop the number of mitochondria so it doesn't overcharge when it's fed by glucose. So when you talk about kidney health, the first thing you need to know, you need salt. Not shying away from, you need a freaking salt. And you can have as much of it as you want as long as you take it with water in the form of plasma, so water can balance it. You can even drink seawater, which is very salty. It's 30 to 35 grams of salt per liter of seawater. And the seawater still has capacity to absorb way more salt. You can take seawater and put salt in there and mix it and salt disappears. So this way, when you drink seawater, it is going to basically hydrate you, and the surplus of salt will go out through kidneys. Kidney has no problem releasing as much salt as it wants as long as there is plasma available. So when you drink seawater, yeah, you cannot go and take 1 liter in one shot. You're going to vomit, you are going to have explosive diarrhea right away. Body will not want to absorb it. And then this will dehydrate you. So when you drink very salty water, like seawater, you drink small amounts. You drink small cup, chop, and body will have time to take the excessive part of the salt in glomerule out, so your urine will become much saltier and you stay hydrated. It is healthier to drink seawater than distilled water. But this is too difficult for educated, indoctrinated brain to comprehend, because it's contrary to anything that we have been brainwashed with. And schools are brainwashing institutions. Why do we have to go to school? Why is it obligatory? Because they have to mold, they have to pollute your brain with nonsense. So this way it loses the ability to reason. If you leave people without going to school, they will see clearly through the bullshit science we are being brainwashed with. So we need to go to school at early ages so our brain can absorb all the nonsense much more rapidly. You want to be healthy with your kidneys. Stop poisoning yourself and start loading up on plasma. Water with sea salt, diluted seawater is even better. You dilute seawater 3:1 and you achieve approximately the salinity of the blood. We are taking enough minerals if our diet is animal-based diet. Meat is full of minerals. Animal cannot survive without meat properly mineralized. But the minerals have to come from somewhere. So herbivores, like cow, like sheep, like goat, they don't have access to enough minerals, because water they drink does not have the level that body needs of minerals, and plants neither. So herbivores, since they don't eat meat, they have to be provided with salt to lick. And they know in nature where to go to get salt. But when you restrict their movement, like domestic cows and domestic sheep or goats, you have to give them the salt, because they are not free to go and search for it in nature. This right away proves science 100% wrong, because scientifically we are being indoctrinated that we cannot absorb minerals from salt itself because it's inorganic. We can only absorb it if it is organically chelated through plants. So you get salt by eating plants. I just show you it's bullshit science. It's contrary. So a lot of re-education has to be done. Start realizing the more knowledgeable you are in things exposed to you, the more misled and indoctrinated you are. So your title that you have, which is based on science, not on science, is worth crap. It is there to make you feel good, to make you feel better than others. And actually, you will start realizing that you have been brainwashed and turned into moron, zombie. We are afraid of the zombie age. You know, those people are showing now the symptoms. losing memory, becoming unaware of things. And we think, okay, now is age of zombies. Age of zombies started in early 50s when science was kidnapped by Rockefellers and turned into Soyans. And everybody had to be indoctrinated. So, something to think about. And try to cleanse. While cleansing, cleanse this freaking Soyans out of your brain as well. And you don't have to trust anything I say, but start observing. Start looking in the nature, start seeing the differences. Start realizing that there are no chronic diseases anywhere in nature to be found. And humans and domestic animals are rid of them. They are full of chronic problems. Why? Because of Soyans. Okay, I'll finish my rant for now. Thank you for listening. I hope it's not time wasted to you. And start thinking. I love you all. I hope we wake up. God bless us. Namaste.